Next on Worcester News tonight, 2 new findings released today about the handling of the arrest report involving the daughter of a central Massachusetts judge. Plus, a new budget for the WRTA. While it doesn't include any cuts to service, it may not fund the whole year. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. Tonight, new information from 2 different investigations about orders to alter the arrest report of a judge's daughter. The reports released Friday detail the actions by law enforcement personnel, including the former head of the state police, but we're learning no criminal charges will be recommended. Our Roslyn Flaherty joins us live now to explain. Roslyn?
Olivia, this all started in 2017 when a judge's daughter was arrested and her report was altered. An investigation was launched and now these reports are out. Attorney General Maura Healey releases a report finding there is not enough evidence to file criminal charges and altering arrest reports involving a judge's daughter.
I didn't think the record should have been changed and that the reprimand should have been put in anybody's jacket.
2 Massachusetts state troopers filed lawsuits last year alleging they were forced to alter Ali Bebo's arrest report. Bebo is the daughter of a Dudley District Court judge and allegedly made inappropriate statements during her arrest on charges of drunk driving and OUI. The report says former Colonel Richard McEwen ordered members of his staff to remove comments she made to troopers about providing sex for heroin.
The reputation of the state police was in fact tarnished by all of this.
The report goes on to say Worcester District Attorney Joseph Early Jr. had several phone calls with Colonel McEwen and asked him what he was going to do about the report.
I said it was a mistake for McEwen to do it, and obviously I would argue that it was a mistake for Early to do it too.
Early's office released a statement reading in part, all individuals at the district attorney's office acted lawfully and acted in accordance with all pertinent guidelines. All standard protocols were followed and applied appropriately as they are for all cases. Another report appointed by the state police found McEwen and Early's decision to revise the report came from, quote, flawed judgment.
We did believe it was flawed judgment. We didn't think the arrest report should have been changed, and I'm glad that these independent reviews support that.
Now, Healey's report says they are referring the matter to the state's Ethics Commission for further review. Roslyn Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
More than 2,700 delegates will endorse Republican candidates for statewide office this weekend in Worcester. The Massachusetts Republican Party State Convention is at the DCU Center Saturday. Crews are setting up and preparing for the big event. Statewide candidates who receive at least 15% of the vote at the convention will qualify for the state primary ballot. Governor Charlie Baker and Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito are expected to easily secure a spot on the primary ballot as they seek a second term. Baker is ranked as the nation's most popular governor. Leadership, teamwork, and character development. They are just a few qualities Skills USA teaches students. The Massachusetts chapter hosting its 44th annual state championships Friday at Blackstone Valley Technical High School. Governor Charlie Baker participated in today's event. Students were able to show off their skills, including robotics, nursing, and cosmetology.
Yeah, it's not ripping, I know that.
Skills USA is really just a program to help students who go to vocational schools to really learn the leadership skills and the soft skills that will help them get a good job when they graduate high school so that they don't necessarily have to go straight into college.
And more than 34,000 students, teachers, and administrators in Massachusetts are a part of the program. A new budget is passed for the WRTA as the company continues to struggle with financial issues. And despite the new budget, there is still plenty of concern tonight. Board members are worried on how it may affect people who rely on the bus to get around. Our Brittany Schaefer has the details.
The Worcester Regional Transit Authority Advisory Board unanimously passes a $25 million budget, but says it won't last the whole year.
We have a deficit of about $670,000. It's just an inflationary cost that goes up every year. If you're not keeping up with that inflationary cost, it's going to put you at a deficit.
Administrator Jonathan Church says they are now working with legislators in hopes of getting more state funding. In 2018, transit agencies received a decrease in funding from previous years, leading to service cuts and raised fares. Church says it could unfortunately be a possibility again in 2019.
We will likely have to make some service cuts as proposed, which we've gone out to public review with. And we'll have to bring those to the board to make some difficult decisions about what service to cut in order to have that balanced budget.
70% of the WRTA's budget is funded by the state. Advisory Board Treasurer Doug Belanger says their riders can't handle more cuts.
Creates anxiety for everybody, and I'm just tired of doing that to our own riders. 40% of our riders take the bus to go to work. 15% of them take the bus to go to a medical appointment. In the way we're going, we keep chopping and chopping. You're not going to have a service.
To avoid possible cuts, Belanger presented the idea of a penny gas tax. He says something needs to change to save transit agencies.
A penny would generate somewhere between $25 and $30 million a year. Somewhere, doing what we've been doing can't continue.
And Friday, the Senate passed a supplemental budget of an additional $4 million for transit agencies. The WRTA says it would help. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
The state police could be hit with a huge bill from the National Revenue Service. That's according to the Boston Globe. It's reporting the state has failed to pay taxes on a commuting perk doled out to troopers since the 1970s. It's a $40 a day reward for certain troopers who drive their own cars to work. The Globe reports the IRS could now seek millions of dollars in back taxes. An investigation is underway after a nationwide outage at all RMVs. Right now, RMVs cannot process any licensing transactions. This is happening in all 50 states. It's not clear what caused the outage. The RMV is urging people to consider going to the RMV on another day if needing to conduct any business involving licenses or IDs. However, the outage has not affected registrations. Well, a celebration of trees in the city today. Worcester has been named a tree city for more than 3 decades now. And in honor of Arbor Day, city leaders planted more trees at Institute Park. Our Chandler Walsh joins us live now with more. Chandler?
Olivia, the first of this year's hundreds of new trees was planted today, followed by a park-wide cleanup. The celebration was clear and got out in front of the rain, but you could say the new tree got its first healthy watering. It's out with the old and in with the new. Worcester celebrates Arbor Day and is honored by the Arbor Day Foundation for the 32nd year for its commitment to its urban forest.
For a city our size to have that big of a commitment to open space and parkland, I think says a lot about the priorities that we have as a city.
It's been 10 years since the discovery of the Asian longhorned beetle. The pest has wiped out more than 30,000 trees in the city. Worcester Tree Initiative's Mary Niddle says those trees have most likely already been replaced, but they're not done planting.
Making sure that trees are considered in all urban planning situations, the right trees are planted in the right place, going forward is part of the long-term mission.
State Representative Jim O'Day says the state awarded Worcester $175,000 for tree replanting this year. He says the money is helpful since trees can still become infested.
When that happens, we have to go in and remove that infested tree and other trees that are within that same species.
Last year, the city focused on de-stumping hundreds of trees, and this year plans to plant 200 new ones, including this thin oak planted today.
So 199 to go.
City Manager Ed Augustus says the 10-year fight against the Asian longhorned beetle gives new meaning to city trees.
You really fully appreciate what it means to not have street trees and shade trees in your neighborhood and how it changes the aesthetic.
State Rep O'Day says we've learned from the Asian longhorned beetle infestation a decade ago, and a combination of tree species will be planted this year so pests can't wipe them all out. Olivia?
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Chandler. The annual Worcester Regional Research Bureau honors 5 public employees with 2018 Thomas S. Green Public Service Awards. The Green Awards recognizes those who make outstanding contributions to public service and exhibit characteristics including efficiency handling all assigned responsibilities, enthusiastic performance of tasks above and beyond the call of duty, and community involvement. Chair of the awards, Ellen Ganley, says it's important to recognize those who help to improve our communities.
Who have made outstanding. When you think about what you look for, what makes a strong community, I think it's quality schools. You want your neighborhood safe. You want it clean. You want your roads pothole free and snow free. And interestingly enough, our honorees this evening represent public schools, public safety, and public works.
And Thursday was the 29th annual Green Awards presentation, which has honored 114 public servants over the past 3 decades.